Welcome everybody, my name is Nairi and this channel is all about adoption, fostering and childhood trauma. So I'm going to tell you about some of my experiences with my older son and how things play out when you need to have a lot of patience and you need to hold back and just wait and see. So you may be aware that adopted children especially and foster children have a high level of anxiety. If they've been through big things in their childhood, then they're going to have childhood trauma. And for us, our two boys find it really hard to share anything with us. They don't necessarily see adults as people that they trust, so we're already on a negative footing. Now, throughout the years we've had the boys, because we had them as foster boys and then we adopted them later, one thing that they found really hard is just opening up about anything. So one of them will get very angry when he's asked and sort of blank you and block you, and the other one just doesn't seem to be able to describe anyway. He's the one with the language delay. And so when we're talking about the older one, something happened on the way back from a youth club. He's been suffering from a high level of anxiety anyway. Something happened, I won't go into it, and he came home and my instinct told me that there was more to it and that I needed to get to the bottom of it. But if you think about the pace, we think about playfulness, acceptance, curiosity and empathy. This is where the curiosity comes in, but I want to add another letter to this PACE program thing, and I want to say patience, because curiosity isn't always enough. You can ask the questions and you may well be right that there is something else wrong, but for my children anyway, it might take hours, it might take days or weeks for them to actually say what's really wrong. I've learned to kind of know when there may be more, but also sometimes you have to stop asking, because if they don't want to share and they're not ready to share, then it almost feels like it's wrong, like you're pressurizing them. So this is where patience comes in, and the ability to sit, wait, come back another day, wait for hours whilst it's being explained. So in my experience, sometimes I'll get a different answer from what it really is. Not normally, but sometimes I'll get a distraction technique happening. So my younger son will start talking about something else, or he'll just think of the first thing that comes into his mind to kind of get me away from asking. The older son will just literally go quiet, and then he may come up with something and it doesn't ring true because the way he's saying it is coming out too easily. Okay, because obviously what is bothering him is painful, so it's not going to come out easily. It's going to be very difficult to say. So going back to this incident, when he came home after what had happened, I could see in him sort of his eyes and the way his demeanour was that he had a high level of anxiety. So eventually he said to me, "Oh, it's just general. It's just things in life generally." That gives me a clue that there is more, and this is where my patience is just going to have to come in. So do I say, okay, that's fine, never mind? But the incident that had happened and the way he was, it was too big to just go, okay, it's general stuff, never mind, we'll just leave this and come back to it. I might have had to, but I sensed that if I was really patient, that he might actually come forward. So just sort of, he just sat on the bed with me, and I just said, look, I can wait here. I said, I think we need to share, so we'll just sit here for a little bit. And he went really quiet. Now, at this point, I could have given up, and many times I have to, because, you haven't always got, and I say this on my videos, you haven't always got time to be empathetic as a parent. Sometimes you just need to put a straightforward boundary in place, and sometimes you just don't have time. You can't do PACE all the time. You can't therapeutically parent all the time. It's just not possible in life. But I had the time. So we sort of sat there for a bit. I said, I don't think it's something general. I said, because I can see a high level of anxiety in you. I can see that you're really stressed. And I said, I don't want you to go to bed like that. So I said, if there's more, you need to say. So eventually he came out with stuff, and it's stuff that he's been anxious about before, and so it made sense. So I kind of said to him, like, you do not have to go to this youth club. You don't have to do these things. You don't have to do things that make you really stressed, especially this stressed. And so we talked it through. We talked about why he still goes to the youth club if different things happen, and he sort of said certain people that he wanted to see, and I suggested that he's got their phone numbers, he can see them outside of that environment. So I was trying to sort of help him to understand that he doesn't have to carry on as he is. He doesn't have to carry on going to this place. There's other ways out. Now, whether he'll take those, I doubt it, but at least gave me the chance to explain to him there are other ways of doing this. By the time he went to bed, he was a bit better. You know, got him a drink. We did a swap round with the beds. Sometimes if the boys are stressed, then we'll let the dog sleep up with them. He's a massive dog, okay, so it's not that if it was a smaller dog, it would be easier. So we can't do it all the time because I'm not sure how much sleep they get. We swapped the bedrooms around and he went into his favourite sort of bedroom with the dog, and by the morning he was still a little bit, you know, wobbly, but he seemed a lot better. And then he had an activity because he's nearly 15 and we've just started to homeschool. If you look on my channel, you'll see. Can't go into everything why we had to do that, but we felt that we absolutely had to. So he was going to go out and help at a local church cafe and sort of get involved, and he seemed really happy with that. And in my experience, a lot of the anxiety the boys go through are around their own peers, their own friendship groups, because of the way they feel different. My younger son has said that he gets called weird, he gets called different, and that even when he isn't doing anything, he'll get picked on. So I think there is an element of that with him, but there's also an element of the fact that he doesn't have the empathy needed to construct really solid friendships. So, you know, it's a struggle for the boys to blend into their own peer environment. But what I've noticed conversely is that if they like an adult or they trust an adult, or the activity they're doing is something they really enjoy, they actually fly at it, and they might do better than your average teenager who might be clueless. So my older son's really good in the kitchen and he likes making drinks. He's really good at baking. So for someone who's only just turning 15, he's actually quite, you know, exceptionally good. So he gets praise from the adults and they make him feel good. And so actually by the next day, things are turned around. But you can see the level of patience that you might need as an adopter or foster carer to wait to see if they want to share. But what I will say about this is they'll only share if they want to. You might wait years for something to come out, and that is the level of patience that you might need to have. So I hope this short video is helpful to you. Subscribe if you want to. There's membership if you want it. I want to welcome Erin, my new member. So Erin, if you've got to this end of the video, thank you so much for being my third member on the channel, and I look forward to making the odd little video for the three of you. I'll probably do that over the Easter holidays. So thank you for watching Fly Little Birds. See you soon.